Hello everyone, greetings from India. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers for allowing me to share my experiences on eucalyptus farming in India. Some slides presented in this talk represent the work carried out in my previous lab while in service. Seaweeds are an important resource for India with immense potential to contribute to the recently launched Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan Yojana and blue economy policy in India. Like agriculture croplands, seaweeds are cultivable but don't need arable land, fresh water, fertilizer. They can be farmed in the sea and non-arable land along the seacoast. Although seaweeds in India are utilized exclusively for the extraction of typical hydrocolloids such as agar and alginate from the wild harvest, the eucalyptoid cultivation has heralded commercial farming of seaweeds in the country. In this presentation, I will introduce the audience to the seaweed utilization practices and then the genesis of eucalyptoid farming, current status, promises, and problems. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce my organization, the Indian Center for Climate and Societal Impacts Research, which is a non-profit and public-private partnership organization established in August 2008, registered under Section 25 of the Companies Act 1956 and is located at Mandavi, Kutch, Gujarat, India. The mandate of this organization is to study the climate evolution, impacts of climate change on rural sector, societal adaptation, finding solutions for the reversal of climate change, etc. It also provides a weather forecast bulletin to farmer and the industry. In recent times, the scope of activities expanded and forayed into seaweed field given their climate change mitigation potential and societal, economic and ecological benefits. So the seaweed activity is supported by consortium consisting of Excel, Pedialyte and Mamta group of industries. We are open to national and international collaborations and happy to work with like-minded visionary partners. In India, Tamil Nadu on the southeast coast and Gujarat on the northwest coast are rich in seaweed resources and account for maximum seaweed biodiversity as compared to other maritime states. However, seaweed collection from wild beds is an intensive activity in Tamil Nadu and more than 2,000 households have adopted seaweed collection as the mainstay of their income, and the annual market value of the harvested crop estimated at USD 4.2 million. In India, seaweeds are utilized exclusively for the production of phycocolloids like agar and alginate from the material harvested from the wild beds. Among the red seaweeds, Gelidiella and Gracilaria are collected and supplied to agar processing industries, while sargassum and terminalia are harvested for alginate processing units. There are total 32 seaweed processing units operating in the country. Most of these industries fall under MSMEs category. The annual production of agar by domestic industries estimated at 260 tons, whereas alginates 330 tons per annum. Some agar producing industries do import agrophytes from Spain, Indonesia, besides local suppliers. India has many economically important seaweeds like any other Asian country except for the kelps that grow cold waters. There is considerable scope for developing both cultivation and downstream processing technologies for the utilization and value addition of Indian seaweed resources. The seaweed resources that we have in India represent edible, phycocolloid and industrial importance. There is considerable scope and opportunities for developing innovative farming technologies for commercial scale cultivation of economically important seaweeds. Seaweeds offer huge economic, societal and environmental benefits, improving life on this planet Earth. Eucalyptides have been introduced and formed in numerous countries having tropical climate across the world due to its high adaptability and production potentials coupled with surging global market demands. A few fragments of Kappa ficus have been obtained in 1994 from Japan, observing all protocols of introduction and quarantine. After acclimatization in the laboratory culture, the algae was introduced in the sea in confined conditions, employing in perforated bag method in Gujarat and later in Mandapam, Tamil Nadu. The MAC method of cultivation was discontinued in 2000 after its occurrence has been reported from Indian waters. The first experimental cultivation of Kappa ficus in coastal waters of Mandapam began in September 1995 using the perforated transparent polythene bag method. In 1998, open culture method of namely fixed bottom monoline was adopted to overcome shortfalls of the bag method. This method was replaced with the net bag method in 2000 to minimize the grazing and loss of cultivated biomass. In 2003, the raft method of cultivation was adopted to simplify the overall cultivation operations. Currently, the raft method is widely practiced by all Kappa ficus growers in the country. To further strengthen the Kappa ficus cultivation in India, we have for the first time developed tissue culture techniques for large-scale production of micropropagules. We have successfully developed an innovative process for the mass production of tiny micropropagules from pigmented filamentous callus. The findings of this landmark research have far-reaching implications in developing land-based nursery for seedling production, as well as the pigmented filamentous callus permits for undertaking genetic manipulation studies aimed at generating genetically improved strains, enhancing the sustainability of eukimide farming. Also, the callus can be used for the long-term preservation of germplasm. The field cultivation of tissue culture progeny was initiated to study and compare the growth performance over farmed plants. The plants generated from tissue culture showed an increased growth rate of 1.5 times higher than controls in the field cultivation. Also, the carrageenan yield of tissue culture progeny remained unaffected and comparable in terms of quality and quantity. Farming of such improved varieties helps the farmer to realize enhanced value for his crop and efforts. The genesis of eukimatoid farming in India is captured in this slide. The farming of it began in 1999 with PepsiCo India Holding Private Limited on the suggestion of Mars Pet Food Malaysia to explore seaweed farming as an opportunity, leveraging their contact farming experience. In 2001, PepsiCo acquires a technology license from CSMCRI for cultivating seaweeds, and the same year, Tamil Nadu government granted 10-hectare waterfront for initiating trial cultivation. In 2003, the National Academy of Agriculture Science Policy Paper 22 on seaweed cultivation recommends that it should be taken up on a mission mode. In 2005, techno-economic viable cultivation methods for seaweed cultivation were established. In the same year, government order from Tamil Nadu government for the cultivation of Kappa ficus outside Gulf of Mannar was issued for self-help groups. In 2008, PepsiCo withdraw from activity and Aqua Agri buys the seaweed business from it. In 2010, Aqua Agri established a processing facility based on CSMCRI technology for producing carrageenan and biostimulant from fresh biomass in an integrated manner. In 2013, witnessed the highest biomass production, and the beneficiary number rose from 150 in 2005 to 950. In 2014, encountered a sudden crashing of crop, and in 2020, the Government of India announced allocation of a special budget for promoting seaweed farming in the country with a target to increase production to 1.1 million tons by 2025. In India, at present, commercial farming of eukimatoid is practiced in 6 districts only in South Tamil Nadu. Although the coastline of these 6 districts is more than 570 km long, the most conducive coastal areas suitable for undertaking eukimatoid farming is estimated at 215 km with an estimated potential to cultivate more than 1 lakh rafts of 9 square meter area. However, there are field trials are being undertaken in other states to expand eukimatoid farming while identifying potential areas continuously. It is only the red seaweed Kappa ficus alvarezi farmed commercially in a southern Tamil Nadu state on the southeast coast of India since 2005. This species of Philippine origin was obtained from Japan following the quarantine protocols, acclimatized and developed a successful cultivation method for its propagation in the sea. It is propagated through vegetative fragments using either raft or tubular net method. So the former method is more preferred for cultivating relatively in calm seawater. Otherwise, the tubular net method is meant for cultivation in areas characterized by high wave action and offer ease of cultivation. The crop harvesting cycle is 40 to 45 days and yields about 170 kg fresh biomass out of 40 kg initial seed material. The number of harvesting cycle varies between the east coast and west coast and depends on several factors including temperature and duration of the monsoon period. From our field cultivation trials, it is estimated that one can have a yield of about 600 tons fresh weight per hectare per year with 6 harvesting cycles. Although India is a late entrant in the cultivation of copa ficus in the world, it developed the latest and innovative downstream technology for the effective utilization of feedstock. Indian researchers developed a unique integrated process facilitating simultaneous recovery of sap rich in plant growth stimulants and residue rich in polysaccharide called capacaraginin from fresh seaweed biomass. The former found to be an excellent plant growth stimulant from field efficacy trials. The field trials of foliar spray of sap conducted on various crops showed an increase in yield from 15 to 40% over the controls depending on the crop and climatic conditions. This slide provides data on yearly production, value, and number of beneficiaries engaged in the eucalyptoid farming in India from 2005 to 2016. There has been an exponential growth in seaweed production, market value, and the number of people joining the cultivation, but the year 2014 encountered a serious setback, recording the lowest production ever since its inception, and the lag continues even in 2021, although a marginal increase showing. The crashing of the farm was attributed to unprecedented high temperatures. The entire crop showed signs of sudden whitening. The algae experts, both in the Philippines and Indonesia, could not help in establishing the cause for this decay. However, it was learned that similar situations have been experienced even on the international landscape. Recovery is made possible by quickly shifting material from unaffected sites. Farmers are since then working to multiply the small quantity of planting material brought from Gujarat under the guidance of industry, and now all the farmers have fresh startup material to resume the cultivation activity. Indian Center for Climate and Societal Impacts Research made a maiden effort to cultivate eucalyptus in tanks on the onshore system. The initial trials have been very encouraging and succeeded in obtaining the final yield of 6 times of the original planting material. The experiments are in progress to optimize various cultivation parameters and to understand the seasonal barriers and challenges to make the sustainability of onshore farming of seaweeds. Seaweed cultivation comes with several benefits to offer to mankind and the ecosystem. It plays an important role in mopping the CO2 from the atmosphere. The cultivation is manpower intensive and provide employment opportunities to coastal rural communities who normally have scanty resources. Interestingly, the products from seaweeds support terrestrial agriculture and help to reduce its carbon footprint significantly. It also restores the ecosystem and improves the habitat health. The seaweed polysaccharides are blended in making bioplastics as an alternative to non-degradable plastics harming the ocean habitats. Seaweed materials are alternative to many synthetic harmful products that are likely to be discarded or discontinued shortly. Blending of small portions of seaweed with animal feed helps to control the methane emission by livestock. There is an endless list of benefits that can be realized from seaweed resources. Some problems needed to be addressed to make eucalyptoid cultivation more sustainable. The farming industry in India is a seasonal and interrupted by the monsoon that occurs in two different periods on the west coast and east coast. During this period, the sea is rough and seaweed growers harvest the entire crop and sell it off. When monsoon retreats, seaweed growers left with no planting material, and this entails establishing a land-based nursery system for growing planting material during the lean period. Also, farming suffers from grazing, diseases, epiphytes, loss of crop, inconsistency in production yield and quality, climate change are some of the common problems, to name a few. We need to solve these problems to make the seaweed industry robust and resilient. It is also important to have seaweed cultivation monitoring programs in place to check undesired environmental impact. The present slide shows the IP built around eucalyptoid landscape in India. It clearly shows the innovation and application potential of the eucalyptoid resource, and this knowledge needs to be translated to make a new products and new markets contributing to the national GDP. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my promoters, Excel Industries, Pedalite, Mamta Group for generously supporting the seaweed project and also permitting me to participate in this workshop. Thank you so much.